right. It's another episode of Your Daily Scrum with professional Scrum trainers, Todd Miller and Ryan Ripley. We get together each and every day to talk about Scrum so that you can hopefully get better at Scrum each and every day. Check out the description for more about Todd and I, our book, our classes, like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. There might even be some merch below this video by now, Todd.
Yeah, it should be showing up.
Pretty crazy. We got squirrel burgers and burning the burn downs and Agile for Humans merch and all sorts of stuff. Check out the store, buy some fun stuff. Let us know in the comments how much you like it. Leave your questions and comments as well. I think that's all the fun YouTube stuff, right?
Yep.
So Todd, you did a poll recently in our community, so I should probably put that banner up. community.agileforhumans.com. Why aren't you there? It's free. Check it out. You did a poll there, Todd. Which Scrum event is most difficult to facilitate?
Yeah, we asked, and 82 people responded. You can see that it was it's pretty close. Sprint retrospective being what people consider to be the hardest, followed by sprint planning, followed by the sprint review, and daily Scrum coming in last. So really trying to dissect this. Interesting with retrospective. I mean, as with everything that we talk about, it really is based off of the context of the environment, the people that you're dealing with. But that's not just within your Scrum team, but your stakeholders as well. So what do you make of this, Ryan?
I'm kind of surprised. With as many classes as we teach and with as many students that we talk to, especially about the daily Scrum, how often do we hear after we explain it, right? That it's a plan for the next 24 hours. It's buying for the developers. It's about planning your collaboration. We're inspecting our progress towards the sprint goal. We might make an adaptation to our sprint backlog. And people are like, well, that's not how mine goes. How often do we hear that?
Yeah. Well, it looks like we just got a message pop up there.
Nice.
That was from the community.
How often do we hear that?
Yeah.
And so I wonder, I would have expected daily Scrum to be super high, but at the same time, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah, I'd say the same thing that you're talking about could be applied to the sprint review. We don't know what we don't know. Yep. Although I feel more and more that the sprint review really should be in the product owner's hands, right? As we can help and we can facilitate and we can be there as a Scrum Master for that. Well, the one that I'm really surprised about is sprint planning, Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. How many times have you just had sprint planning be difficult, right? Sprint planning is just always can always be tricky. There's a lot of symptoms I think that you can find that make sprint planning difficult, like a lack of refinement or a lack of goals, a lack of team alignment. Those kinds of things can make sprint planning hard. But instead, we got retrospective first. What's that tell you? Does that tell you anything?
I think it's interesting. I don't know what exactly it would tell us, except that the event that you and I would have probably expected to be last on this poll ended up first.
Yeah.
There's so much material out there. Like you've got Esther Derby's book, you've got tastycupcakes.org, you've got a bunch of online facilitation sites, you've got just an insane amount of videos and literature and all sorts of good stuff about the retro. There's I think such a lack of material on some of these other. I'm just surprised that the most covered event, in my opinion, turns out to be the most difficult to facilitate.
Yeah, I wonder if this is a sign of the times that Ryan, facilitating a sprint retrospective and getting used to facilitating a sprint retrospective in the virtual world.
Yeah,
I mean, you and I have taught. You know, I've taught a few classes where all the cameras are off.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to participate. We've done that, and that's happened to us a few times. So I think if you're in a team like that and you're trying to get people to participate, and I just wonder if this is a sign of the times as we're transforming into a new digital world here, and not as in person as we once were.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart insight.
I just yawned to my microphone. Sorry, people.
So there's sign of the times.
Yeah.
Long days on Zoom, right?
Yeah.
Todd, I think it's a good insight, right? This could be the impact of remote on the list. If it's pre-COVID, I would imagine this list is different.
It could be. Yeah. Still, to go on my rant, Ryan, let's pay some attention to the sprint review. Right. Let's really make sure. Maybe that's the third easiest to facilitate because it's not being done well.
Maybe we got to spend a few weeks of videos on it. What do you think?
Yeah. It's a big concern of mine that we're not leveraging the sprint review the right way.
So we would love to know for our YouTube friends, which event is most difficult for you? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any follow-up videos. Maybe Todd and I will put together some sprint review and some sprint planning and some event videos to help out with the facilitation. You'll never know, especially if you don't like and subscribe. So hit those buttons and stay up to date with what we're doing here on YouTube. Check out the socials. You don't want to miss the latest Twitter issue or LinkedIn jab or whatever happens to be coming our way on the socials. Some videos are going to pop up here. It's our 2 free courses. It's a Scrum Framework course and an EBM course that Todd and Will Seeley put together. We think you'll love those, so check them out as well. For Todd Miller, I'm Ryan Ripley. Go forward, do some great Scrum things. Leave us your comments. Let us know which event is most difficult for you. And maybe you'll see some videos about that in the future, but only if you like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.